Can we give it up for the band, please?
Yes, give some love to the band. Wow. I was out here dancing earlier with Momo. We were doing a little bit of swing dance.
Doing the jitterbug.
Yeah, it was fun. And welcome to Unity and Marin, all of our online congregation, and all of you here. I'm Reverend Tim Lytle, Senior Minister here.
And I'm Reverend Deanne Morency. I'm the Associate Minister here.
Yes, and we are so glad you are. And
so am I. So am I. Can I say something?
Yes, you can.
I know, right? Make room for Deanne to talk. I just want to thank the online community. I know that there's been a transition with some of our tech as we've been moving to the outdoors. But are we loving being outside?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just want to thank the online community for being patient as we have worked through some of our technical glitches, and know that we are really paying a lot of attention to the sound and everything else. And every week it is mo better. So thank you. Thank you.
And it takes a few minutes after the service to upload and replay. So I don't know why I'm telling you this.
Because you're watching right now.
Because you're watching right now. But in any case, just know that we do our best to rebroadcast as soon as possible. And we have some exciting things coming. You know, we're not doing our normal Zoom virtual courtyard today because we have what I call Unity 101. It's basic Unity principles, basic Unity history and teachings. But it's our membership class. But I don't want you to throw you. If you're not going to become a member, that's cool. Just learn more about Unity. We'll be online at 1 o'clock, and that link is in the website. It's in eBlast. Yeah.
Yeah, and even if you are a member and it's been a while since you've taken the membership class or touched base with Unity 101, I bet you haven't necessarily. If you haven't heard it from Tim and me, maybe it's time to come back in and re-explore how it's being shared right now.
Right, and even if you did hear it from me, I've changed my mind since last year. So,
like Charles Fillmore, I reserve the right to change my mind.
That's exactly right. And if you're new with us, or if you've been with us for a while, if you'd like to connect, Text in Church is a great way for us to connect, where I can send news to you, updates. So if you go to 415-991-7111, and if you text that, text the word welcome if you're new or been with us for a while, text the word loop, and we can connect you. And so we look forward to being more connected, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And if you're new to Unity, I just want to share a little bit about who we are.
Would you?
I would love to. Unity is this beautiful, when I found this teaching, it was like, I felt as if I had been building something all on my own. And then I found New Thought and I found Unity. And I thought, oh, I'm here sort of trying to create the wheel. And there's actually like a bullet speed train that's in place already. So it's a teaching grounded in love. It's a teaching grounded in our capacity to understand our own divinity, our own divine nature, and how the community shows up as one that is in service to each other, to illuminating and seeing the divine that we each are, and to holding that space for each other. And I don't know about you guys, but during this pandemic, there's this sense within me of fracturing. And the thing that has been holding me steady is this idea of the sacred community, the sacred Sangha, this community grounded in love. So if you're new to the community, thank you for joining us. And if you've been here for a long time, it's always really good for us to reaffirm what we value and what we stand as.
All right. Thank you so much.
And the other thing we stand for is prayer. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Tim.
Yeah, we're going to have a song to help us sink into this prayer consciousness, and then we're going to have prayer together.
Mm-hmm.
The words are in your bulletin. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Thank you. At this time, our prayer box will be placed up, and Kathleen O'D is bringing that up. You can place your requests up here, and we hold those in prayer for 30 days and then send them to Silent Unity to be held in prayer for another 30 days. I want to share some things with you for prayer. We have a wonderful preschool here, Hamilton Montessori Preschool. We have 28 children. We have had children on the waiting list. We have been functioning very, very well. One of our teachers, who is 25 years old, named Lisbeth, about a week ago, had a heart attack. Her
organ started to shut down. Her younger sister, they found was a perfect match for a kidney transplant, as they had to place Lisbeth on dialysis. And so last I heard, both Lisbeth and her younger sister were handling the surgery well. But please be holding Lisbeth and all of our Hamilton Montessori School in prayer. And I know all of us have concerns and requests, things that are going on in our lives. And we know that wherever we are, the presence of God is. So I invite us to take a deep breath. If you wish, close your eyes or just relax your gaze, perhaps focus on one particular spot. And we know in this moment that we are immersed in the presence of the divine, the presence of God. That there is truly only one power and one presence. And therefore this presence lives as us. Right where we are, God is. As we breathe into that, we open our hearts. We align our spirit with this presence, knowing that we are the inlet and the outlet of all there is in God. We lift up Lisbeth and her family. We lift up all the concerns of our hearts, of our country, of our world, knowing we are all one. We lift up the cause of justice, racial equity. We give thanks knowing we are here to be propelled forward as the presence, the love, the light that is God. And we know in this moment, ground in this moment, that we are the presence of God in action. Right here and right now, we deepen ourselves into this presence, blessing this service, blessing the music, blessing all that happens, lifting our consciousness, knowing we are one and that all is well. And for this, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. And at this time, we will have our affirmation song. This is our song that goes with our book study. And so we will have our affirmation. We will have our affirmation song, and then we will go into a divine reading that Reverend Deanne will share with us as she leads us in meditation.
right. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you. My name's Gabe Paulson. Good morning, everybody. Morning. It's great to see you all here, and I just feel like we're blessed. Blessed are the palm trees, blessed are the bands, blessed are you, the friendships, and thank you all. I just wanted to thank Jeannie as well. That song was about, what reflects on what's going on in the book study, and Reverend Deanne's going to say more about that. So finding yourself in transition, and thank you, Reverend Tim, for that prayer. As we all know, life happens, and we're here for each other, and we're doing a book study to help deepen our practice. One of the blessings in unity is the blessing of generosity, and we're here because we help each other. We help each other emotionally, we help each other spiritually, and we also help each other financially. And so if you can, it doesn't matter how much, and it doesn't even matter if it's money. Sometimes it's time. Like all of this happened this morning because of outpouring of generosity. Please give. And right now a basket is going around, and if you have something, please donate, and you can also do it online and text. So for all that, we thank you, we keep going, and we thrive in our abundance. Thank you so much. And I think now we have a song again, Reverend Jeannie.
Just as we give, so we receive. Richly we live in one golden weave. There is nothing that we can lack. We give from love, love gives it back. Just as we give, so we receive. Richly we live in one golden weave. There is nothing that we can lack. We give from love, love gives it back.
Now there I am. Good morning, everybody. So we're going to continue with a time of spiritual practice. So this inspirational reading is coming from what as Gabe mentioned, as a community, we are moving through finding yourself in transition. And Reverend Tim is going to speak to week 4 of this book today. So I'm going to invite you to just sit back and to let these words wash over you. Our affirmation for today is I joyfully live as the I am that I am. The Lord's voice came out of the bush, commanding him to remove his shoes, for he was on holy ground. Moses was told that he had been chosen to lead his brethren out of their oppression and bring them to the promised land. Moses shrank from the task, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the sons of Israel out of Egypt? And to reassure him, the Lord said, I will be with you. I am that I am. The essence of who we are is this I am. This transpersonal self that cannot be defined or described by word or concept. The poet Khalil Gibran writes of this, for self is a sea boundless and measureless. Moses, who was identified with his personal self, felt inadequate to the task. When we are identified solely with the personal self, the ego, we feel inadequate to the task of transformation. As we cultivate our awareness of the I am and learn to surrender to this transpersonal self, as Moses eventually did, we realize that our only limitations are those that are self-imposed. Our affirmation today is I live joyfully as the I am that I am. So I'm going to invite us right now to take this into a time of meditation and silence. Whatever those spaces, those places where you may feel inadequate or not enough. And just to allow yourself to surrender to that higher self that is ceaseless and boundless. Let us rest together in the silence. Please let us know this affirmation together. I will say it once, and I invite you to repeat it after me. I joyfully live as the I am that I am. Together. I joyfully live as the I am that I am. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. It is now my joy to introduce to all of you Marcus J. Page. He is an amazing vocalist who he sings with us at Unity San Francisco quite a lot, and it is my joy to have him here with us together at Unity in Marin. Marcus J. Page.
Let me run through a field in the night. Let me lift from the ground until my soul is in flight. Let me sway like the shade of a tree. Let me swirl like a cloud in a storm on the sea. Wish me on my way through the dawning day. I wanna flow, wanna rise, wanna spill, wanna grow in a grove on the side of a hill. I don't care if the train runs late, if the checks don't clear, if the house blows down. I'll be off where the weeds run wild, where the seed falls far from this earthbound town. And I'll start to soar. Watch me rain till I pour. I'll catch a ship that'll sail me astray. Get caught in a wind, I'll just have to obey till I'm flying away. Let me leave behind all the clouds in my mind. I want to wake without wondering why. Finding myself in a bird's for the sky. I'll just roll. Let me lose all control. I want to float like a wish in a well, free as the sound of the sea in a shell. I don't know, but maybe I'm just a fool. I should keep to the ground, I should stay where I'm at. Maybe everyone's had hunger like this, but the hunger will pass, and I can't think like that. All I know is somewhere through a clearing, there's a flicker ring of sunlight on a river long and wide. And I have such a river inside. Let me run through a field in the night. Let me lift from the ground until my soul is in flight. Let me sway like the shade of a tree. Let me swirl like a cloud in a storm on the sea. Wish me on my way through the dawning day. I wanna flow, wanna rise, wanna spill, wanna grow on the side of a hill, wanna shift like a wave going on, wanna drift from the path I've been traveling on before I am gone.
Wow, thanks, Marcus. And we definitely want you to come back, right? Marcus, I hope it's okay that I say this. You've been here in the area, in the city, 5 years? Yes. 5 years? And he told me this is his first time north of the Golden Gate Bridge. So let's welcome him to Marin, yeah? Great. Oh, we all got to make that journey, man. And that's what we're looking at. We're looking at making the journey. We're looking today at finding our way home. You know, it's not always easy. Have you ever been lost? Do you remember as a child, or maybe even as an adult, being lost? I certainly can remember some of those occasions, and it can be quite disorienting. I remember going with a group to Switzerland, and I like to explore. I like to see things that are happening, and I don't necessarily like to stick with the crowd. And so I was wandering through Switzerland, and I realized I don't know where I'm at, and I have no idea where other people are, and this is before cell phones, and I don't have a clue how to connect. And I used my intuition. I listened to that inner GPS, that God positioning system. And I'm like, okay, I'm lost, but I'm not. I know that I'm right where I need to be, and I know where I'm going to go, right where I need to go. And I just eventually nonchalantly joined my group, who had no idea that I had been walking around, I believe it was in Geneva, Switzerland, on my own, not a clue where I was, and nobody knew the difference. When you're lost, or when you're wandering, it can be very disorienting. You don't see familiar signs, you don't see familiar things around you. And as we read in chapter 4 of this book, you can be disoriented, you can have disidentification. That is, if you get, lost enough, you don't even know for sure who you are. I'm grateful. I wasn't at the time, but I'm grateful that at one time in my life that there was so much transition, so much turmoil, so much changing in my life that everything was pretty much reduced to rubble. Some people would call it hitting bottom. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been in the rubble? Yes? Oh, it's completely disorienting. And in the rubble, one wonders, who am I? Who am I now? All those things that I had based my life upon apparently are not true, or at least not absolute, not enduring, they might have been true to some extent for a certain period of time. But hey, when you burn the whole thing down, what's left? I chose to see it as an adventure. I chose to see it as an opportunity to find out what my real self is, to get back in touch with my real self. That I had depended so much at that time upon a particular church structure, upon particular church doctrine, upon a particular self-image, that when it all just came crashing down and burnt down, it's like, let's get in touch with the real me, the real that divine essence that I knew from a spiritual awakening when I was age 15, I knew was the real me. So it's time to get in touch with the I am and to live the I am presence. I don't know if any of you have heard of Dr. Gabor Mate. Oh, a number of you have. Okay. He's come out with a new documentary film. He is a doctor, medical doctor that specializes in trauma. And he is working with the theory and with research that shows that people experience great times of transition and transformation when they go through trauma. That trauma is an invitation into a whole new way of living. Now, we've seen it. Any of us who've ever been through deep trauma know that it can be very transforming, but it's kind of like giving birth. It can be a little bit edgy, and you don't know for sure, okay, am I going to make it or not? It's kind of touch and go at times. But it's a time where we can really get in touch with the true essence of what we are. In chapter 5 of our book study, Finding Yourself in Transition, Robert Brummett describes this Exodus story that comes from the Hebrew Scriptures, the book of Exodus, where Moses is called to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. 400 years earlier, Egypt had saved their lives. 400 years earlier, there was a great famine, and Joseph had become like second in charge to Pharaoh, and they had saved the Israelites. But they had prospered, they had grown, and the Egyptians and the Pharaoh at that time in Egypt decided, hey, these people are getting too populous here. Let's enslave them. And they became an enslaved people. And in the same way, some of the coping mechanisms that you learned growing up to survive, maybe 20 or 30 years later, are the very things that are keeping you enslaved, that are keeping you bound. Maybe you had to play the role of chameleon in the family to match whatever happens in the family trauma and dynamics just to make it go along, but you find out later in life that it doesn't work to be a chameleon, that you want to know who you really are. I don't know what it might have been for you, but the story of Exodus is the story of trauma that is pushing us into transition. And let's face it, as Michael Beckwith says, we can either be pushed by our pain or pulled by a vision. Now, I like, and I've been making this a very intentional choice, to be pulled by a vision. Because in part, I know if I don't, there is a little bit more painful process by which Spirit will help push me to where I need to go. So whatever you're experiencing in your life, here's some good news, okay? Here's the good news. Whatever you're going through in your life, grief, loss, transition, pain, disorientation, all of that is actually this incubator of spirit that is helping you to move and grow and expand into a greater vision of what you are called to be. And sometimes we can't do it without that force that's breaking the shell. When I was in kindergarten, it was one of those wonderful times as I was growing up, one of those times where I actually did something well and got cheered. The kindergarten teacher had an incubator, you know, where you put the chicken eggs. Have you ever seen those? And so the kids would gather around it, and they're like, when's it going to come out? When's it going to happen? You know, they're just ready for this new birth to occur. And the teacher said, we need to be patient. It'll take a while. Let's go back to our seats. And this teacher was brilliant. This teacher was brilliant. And let's everyone be real quiet so that you can hear when the chick is starting to peck through the shell. Isn't that great psychology? You got to be real quiet to listen. So I thought, okay. So maybe for the first time in class, I was just in this Zen space of the silence and moving deep into the silence. And I got to hear that. I got to hear it. I got to hear it. And I don't know if I was focusing on my schoolwork, but I was listening for the chick. And then I thought I heard something. I thought I heard something. And I listened a little longer. I'm like, I think I hear it. And so I raised my hand and I said, I believe I hear the chick breaking its way out. Now, it's not easy to hear that when you're all the way across the room and the egg is in an incubator. But nonetheless, the teacher brought all the kids over. And sure enough, the little chick was pecking its way through the shell. And everyone was so excited, and they cheered me. And I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like to do something right. We're like that chicken. And it takes a while to break through the shell, and it's not always easy. And sometimes we want to just stay in the shell. Some people have made that decision. Oh, let's just stay in here. It's nice and warm and it's comfortable. Why do I want to go anywhere? I'm happy in this shell. And, you know, I've seen people like that. And now, sometimes people use cliches in times of grief and pain. And cliches are not helpful. I can remember when my oldest brother, he had gone through lymphoma, very life-threatening lymphoma, long series of chemotherapy and radiation, and then survived. And then 10 years later, massive heart attack and all of that. But I can remember someone saying to his wife, to Connie, my sister-in-law, our sister-in-law, saying, Connie, all these things going on in your life will help you to be of help to others, will help you to grow and to be able to give comfort to others. And Connie said, I don't want to give comfort to others. I want my husband. You know, cliches aren't so helpful, right? But the truth is, when we're going through those things, it is pushing us out of our shell. Just like the Israelites were led out of Egypt. They had to leave because things had gotten so bad for them. And so they're led to the Red Sea, and Moses is like, what am I supposed to do? We got the Red Sea here. You called me. You told me that you're going to be with me. And all these people are lined up behind me, and I'm supposed to be their leader, and I don't know what I'm doing. Now, that's my own translation. And God said, what are you crying to me about? You know, lift up your staff and just watch the waters part. And so Moses lifts up his staff, and the waters parted, and they're like walking across, which I always wondered as a kid, wouldn't it be muddy? Wouldn't it be hard to walk across? But anyway, so the waters are all parted, and they're walking through, and the Egyptians are like, what were we thinking? We had it made. These guys were our slaves. These guys were doing everything we wanted, and we let them go. We must have been nuts. Let's go after them. And they're riding after them with horse and chariots, which again, I'm thinking horse and chariots and all this mud. But anyway, and so the whole army, gets in the middle of this sea, and the Israelites get across, and then the waters close over the Egyptian army, and they're all wiped out. And so it's a great moment, but it's just the beginning. They wandered in the desert, in the wilderness, for how long? 40 years. 40 years, a generation. Now, do any of you ever have married to a GPS that asks you, are you sure you know the way? Can you imagine the feedback for 40 years that Moses was getting? Are you sure you know where you're going? Is there a map? Is there, I saw a cartoon. Was this on your Facebook, Deanne? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, I saw this cartoon of Moses, and all the Israelites are following, and they're going like in this winding path, and they're each saying, recalculating. And Moses turns around and says, would you guys shut up? That's how it is to go through transition. We don't know the way because we've never been there before. We're going into some new expression of ourselves. We're going into a deeper expression of ourselves. We don't know the way. I remember going through tremendous grief and people asking me, how long is this going to take you? I told them, it's going to take me as long as it takes. I don't have a timeline. When we are going through transition, when you are going through this transformation process, you don't always have a clear map, and you don't always know how long it's going to take. And sometimes some of the cliches that people give us to ease their own anxiety about our lives because somehow it reminds them of their own, those cliches aren't helpful. And we keep going. We keep moving in the direction that we are called to in spirit. We keep moving forward. So that time in my life where everything had been melted down, everything had been burnt down, and that time of deciding this is when I find out who I really am. And by the way, it's also when I find out who my friends really are, right? When I don't have anything to offer them but just a mess. It was out of that that I became a hospital chaplain. It was out of being a hospital chaplain that I got introduced to unity. It was out of being introduced to unity that I stand here now. It wouldn't have happened without those things breaking up my shell. But I had to choose to make it an opportunity for growth. Damn it. Sorry, a little emotion. Because when you're up against it, when you are really facing your trauma, when you are really facing the difficulty of transition, it's not easy. It's not fun. And all the cliches in the world don't help a bit. But there is something in you, the I am presence, that can never be extinguished, can never be divided, can never be diminished, can never be diluted. That presence in you is the real you, the I am presence. And that I am presence that can never be defeated will propel you forth into the greatest journey of your life. And you will come back with gifts, power, and something that we all need, and in a deeper expression of what you really are. It's a resurrection experience. And that's what we're about. We're about the resurrection experience. So when that trauma has hit you, when those hard times have hit you, when you wonder, wow, where do I go from here? That's when you're breaking into the promised land. That's when you're breaking into the new journey. And it is a journey. If you can, enjoy the journey. Most of the time we're on the journey, so we might as well enjoy it. But just embrace whatever you are experiencing, knowing that this is bringing forth a greater and greater expression of your I am presence. It cannot be defeated. It can never, never be extinguished. You can choose to not bring it forth because you have free will. But if you will allow the process, the power of Spirit will bring forth a greater expression of the I am than you have ever imagined or thought. You are here to bring forth the I am, to be the I am in action. You are here as the presence of God to bring that to this world. What you are really called to do is to be what you really are. People sometimes come to me and say, I don't know what I'm here for. Hey, I got a real good clue for you. Be what you really are. Be that I am presence. Live that in everyday life. We teach tools here. Yesterday we had a wonderful meditation group up in the meditation garden, and we moved into that I am presence. The fact is, it is always here. We are always at home. We are constantly searching for home, and the fact is, home is always here because right where you are, the I am is. Because you are that. I'd like you to repeat some affirmations after me. Where I am, God is. Where I am, I am. The I am is never defeated. The I am does not give up. The I am knows what it's doing. I am that I am. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. Till I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong. Down an unknown road to embrace my fate. Though the road may wander, it will lead me to you. And 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through. And I won't look back. I can go the distance. I will stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance and my journey is complete. Oh yeah. But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part. For hero strength is measured by his heart. Like a shooting star, I can go the distance and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. I don't care how far. I can go the distance till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms. I will search the world. I will face its harms till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Marcus. That was beautiful. What a soulful and beautiful tenor. And I shouted out, I'll pay your toll, and I mean it. Oh, next time you come up, please come back, come back. Unbelievable. And band, thank you so much. I was watching the drummer, just really quiet on the brushes and the bass and the keyboard. You guys are really bringing a lot to the sunshiny day. Thank you. And thank you to Reverend Tim for a message which is, I think, really a hard message. You know, we're here, and those of you who are online, you really have to come. I mean, I wanted to go to Hawaii, and I don't think I need to. The people are sitting in the shade. The temperature is perfect. It's beautiful here. And it's not just the weather in this amazing open campus. It's really all the people here. And I just have to say from the heart, I love you people. And that is a cliche, isn't it? People say that all the time, but I think Reverend Tim hit the nail on the head. When you are the I am, when you are the person that you are, it's really hard not to love you. I mean, we carry so many masks, we're fake in so many ways, but when we're real, it's so lovable. So I love you, and thanks for loving me in advance. So, thank you. And speaking of all that, I want to direct your attention to the flowers, and they were dedicated and paid for by Melanie Carter. Melanie, are you here today? There you are. Melanie, let's give Melanie a hand. As I was listening to both Reverend Tim and Reverend Deanne, thank you too. I met Reverend Deanne today for the first time and her lovely partner, Chris. Great to see you both. I was just, really tuning into the message of crisis and the message of change and transition and finding yourself. And I've known Melanie for almost a decade now, and I can't think of a better person to really represent that message for us. She's been through so much, and to me, she brings the flowers. No matter what it's been, it's always been the reflection of beauty, that all this tough stuff is worth going through, and you get to the end, I am that I am. So Melanie, thank you so much. And we also have opportunities not just to give flowers, but to be service sponsors. And I just wanted to offer to be the service sponsor next week, because I think that it's another way to reflect and shine. It looks like Reverend Deanne had something to say, so, and Reverend Tim.
Yeah, we got a few things, and you can always go over here to Charcelle's table to sign up to be a flower sponsor or a service sponsor. Wow.
Wow. So we have lots of ways that you can connect with each other. We're obviously connecting here right now, but there are ways that you can connect. We have classes happening. We have Reverend Tim's meditation class, which is meeting on Saturday
Wow,
mornings.
was it a powerful time? So you can still sign up after next Saturday. No more sign-ups, but great time, 9 o'clock
Meeting
to
right up
11
there
o'clock.
in the meditation in the trail. It's beautiful.
Right up here. So if you could sign up, you can call the office if you're not registered, if you need help registering for that. And we also have a class at 1 o'clock today.
That's right, the membership class, which you can also look at it as a Unity 101.
Right.
So if you're not necessarily thinking about becoming a member, you just want to know more about Unity, come join us. If you've been a longtime member and it's been a while since you've brushed up on your Unity basics, this is a great time to come back. And the
Right.
movement is always growing and evolving. Our understanding of principle is always evolving and growing. So come and catch the latest wave.
Oh, and by the way, Christine Morgan has a book that is called The 5 Principles, and she has a lot of books. She has Meditation for Dummies, which is the book that we're using for meditation class, and she has Finding Yourself in Transition by Robert Brummett, and she also has The 5 Principles by Alan Davenport.
Which is a phenomenal book, by the way.
Yeah, which goes into a more contemporary explanation of Unity's 5 basic principles. Right.
you don't need to be
Anybody
in the
can
class.
purchase these. She'll be right over here at the table. Thank you, Christine.
So the last announcement that I want to make, during the town hall meeting when we were sharing about the appreciative inquiry and the education program, one of the requests that was made was programming that centered around the final chapter, right? Act 3. And so I want to share with everyone, I mentioned at that town hall meeting, death cafes. And if you don't know what a death cafe is where you gather and you talk about death. That's what you talk about. It's an opportunity to be open, to be honest, to be present with whatever might be up for you or alive for you around the issue of death. They're wonderful, actually. They're very freeing. And the people who gather at them are all like-minded. They're all interested in talking and sharing and discovering more about what that transition, which is what we would call it in our teaching, might be, could be. How do we feel about it? How are we navigating it? So there is a death cafe that is being offered online Saturday, October 16th. So that's next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
And it's from 10 to 12. There's information on our website. It's offered by a Unity minister and a ministerial candidate,
Right.
who is putting it together. And check it out. It's really, if you've never been to one, and we will be looking at having in-person death cafes here possibly in 2022. But this is a great way if you want to discover more about what the idea is. It originated in Switzerland, of course. Sweden, actually. It originated in Sweden, where it's dark all the time, right? So, so you can find out more on our
All
website.
right. Thank you. Thank you, Deanne. Thank you, Gabe.
Thank you. Thank you both. Will our prayer chaplains please rise? So we have about 6 or so people here. These lovely volunteers are here to support you, whether you're going through changes or crisis or you're just happy. These are great people to approach, and I highly recommend just to introduce yourself. And they are trained to pray with confidentiality and with unconditional support. So prayer chaplains, for your service, we thank you so much. And there are other ways to connect to Unity in prayer. If you go to the website, you'll see we have texting, and we can also always call. And there's Unity our Unity phone line, which is something that has been around for a long, long time. But just check the website out. If you ever feel a load or you just feel like you want to connect spiritually, it's a great, great resource. So thanks for that, everybody. So as we close our service, let's stand as we're able and say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The presence of God holds us. The presence of God watches over us. The power of God protects us. Wherever we are, God is. Words matter. And let's close with our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was naturally. When God ever present, and we all agree. Let us walk with each other.
They all start on the same note.
Well, three of them were right here.
It's all fine.
I didn't even think, I just.
That's all right. It's okay. Thinking is overrated most of the time. It always gets me.
I'm not used to actually having somebody else to come give me ideas. Try to think of myself. So I follow myself, you know, if I think of myself, then I just follow along.
Then you're always where you were. It sounded great.
All right, thanks, guys. I love you guys. Love you guys.
Yes, you will get the call.
Yeah, kind of. Hey, baptize me